Okay. So sketch the graph of g of x, negative x squared plus 6x minus 5 on the interval of 1 to 6. So meaning to say that we have to graph it with these intervals only. 1 until 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the function is a quadratic. So in this graph, it is a parabola. So we can actually convert our given with this form, HK. So how to convert that HK? So when we do that, we have to complete the square first. So what are we going to do? We will rewrite the equation. This equation, so it would be g of x is equal to negative x squared plus 6x minus 5. So we will factor out the negative. So we will bring it out. The negative of this will become negative outside. And at the same time, is Hisham is on your group? Why did I accept him? Hisham, you're not here, right?
Sir, I think he's lost.
Naku, Hisham, grade 10 ka pa rin? Grade 11 ka na pala.
Eh, that's my boy.
Hey, what's up, Kuya Hisham?
Hisham,
Isab lang malakas.
you're lost, Hisham.
Are you lost, big boy?
Bro, Hisham.
Sir
Hisham.
Robert, happy
Nasa ko
birthday.
na si Hisham.
Thank you, Ryan.
Ayan.
God bless po.
Okay, thank you. So let us continue. We have our part that we need to factorize the negative sign. So it will become x. So x squared. Now this positive will become negative now. Okay? Because when you factor out negative and negative, it will be positive. And then we will get the value of the b, and that 6 will be divided to 2 when you have to square it. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. Square it, it's 9. So we will add 9 here, and we will subtract 9 here. But if there is a negative there, you will add it. All right? So you're supposed to minus this 9, but since there is a negative there, you multiply it by negative, so it will become plus. And then that's the completed square now. So we can be able to write negative x squared. So I'll continue over here. So it will become negative then x squared minus 6x plus 9. Because you will add 9. And negative 5 plus 9 is positive 4. So, but since this is already completed, so we will write it in this form. Negative x minus 3 squared plus 4. This is square root of the first. This is a perfect square trinomial. Square root of this x squared is x. Square root of 9 is 3. That's why it is x minus 3 squared. So let's move it up. Then after that, we have to get the, what do you call, center, the HK. The HK is actually this H and K. So H is 3 and the K is 4. So that's why the center is 3, 4. So we will see center 3, 4. This is our parabola. Let's graph. This is 3 and this 4. So since this is negative graph of a parabola, the top is, the highest point is at 3, 4 because the graph is going down, is facing down. So since we have 1 to 6, from 1 to 6, we will substitute 0 to this. So for example, g of 0 is equal to negative x is 0 minus 3 squared plus 4. So this is x 0 minus 3 is what? All right, it's not, let's start with 1, I should say, sorry. Let's start with 1 because we will start with 1. Okay, because the x is from 1 to 6 only without 0. 1. Let's start with 1. So 1 minus 3 is negative. 2 squared is 4. Minus 4 plus 4 will be 0. You can start entering on your calculator. That's why this is 0. Next, we have g of 2. This is 1. So what about our g of 2? The x now is 2. So negative, then 2 minus 3 squared plus 4. So it will become negative. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. Squared is positive 1. So negative 1 plus 4 will give you 3. That's why this is 3. Next, if it is 3, just enter this one here to this equation, then you will get 4. If it is 4, you will get 3. If it is 5, you will get 0. If it is 6, you will get negative 5. So let us graph now 1, 0. 1, 0 is over here. Next, we have 2, 3. 2, 3 is over here. 3, 4 is there. 4, 3 is over here. 5, 0 is over here. And 6, negative 5 is over there. All right? So let us connect the points by drawing the parabola. So this is our parabola now. All right? And then until there. All right. So that is our given parabola. So when we try to get our domain, they give the domain already. The domain are set of x such that x should be from 1 until 6. All right? So that's 1 until 6. But to get the range is from the lowest of this graph. This is the lowest of this graph until to the top of this graph. So this is the range, right? So what are the numbers in y that are range of this graph? Ali, will you tell me the range of this graph? That's the range. Y such that, yes, negative 5 less than or equal to, what's the top number?
4.
4, yes, very good. That's how we graph it, okay? So it's easy to graph, but you can actually know this, if you remember about your getting the center or the vertex of the parabola, you have to get the negative b over 2a, and then you will replace it to the given equation, substitute it there, and then you will get the value of your vertex. Or you can use this formula so that you can be able to get the center. The center is at 4, 3. Anyway, without getting this form, you can substitute on this given equation from 1 to 6. You will get these numbers, and then you can graph it as like this. Okay, so that's the parabola all about. Can we move our next slide? I mean, can we move it up, or you are still copying? Still copying? Okay, I will give you time to copy. If you have some questions, just raise your questions. If you did not understand part, then I can re-explain that to you. Okay, let's move on to the next example. Yes. Okay. So, number 9, sketch the graph of the following functions. So we have 3, A, B, C. So let's start with the first one. The first one is what they call it greatest integer function. They call this as greater integer function, okay, or the greatest integer function. So look at this. It is illustrated as, wait, as these two parentheses, double parentheses like this, right? So this is for x, for example. So what are we going to do here? We will give values from -2 to -1, or any point. It should be from, if you will start with -9, okay, until -2. So we will start here, the open value. So what it looks like, look at the value, this function of this in this form, -2 to -1. So this -2 is shaded until 1. All right, but it is open because it is -1 less than. So the greatest integer is -2. And then -1, 0. -1, 0, it's closed. And then 0. And then 0, -1, 0, +1. So we have it here. And then here open. Until you will go here. Shaded. It's like a stairs. Alright. So look at the value going there. This is what you call greatest integer function. All right. So this and then this one. Oops. That should be open. This is open. Right. Oops. And so on. So also here, if you will move it over here, it's like this. Okay. It should be open, open. and so on. So that's the graph looks like, right? So it's greatest integer function, all right, and so on. So when we have that -9 to -8, all right. So look at the graph, how it looks like. And the greatest number from this -2, the value of the greatest integer of this is this 2, -2, because it can be equal. Less than -1, it is open. All right, so in this form. So that's what you call greatest integer function. Now, what about absolute value? This x. So anything that you will give on x, it's always positive. So for example, you will give a value of x, which is -5. So the value of the x is positive. Okay, so let's start giving. Let's go on letter B. We are now on letter B, all right? This is B. So if you will give value of -5, the value is +5. If it is -4, it is +4. If it is -3, it's +3. If it is -2 until like 0, okay, so let us write. If it's -5, it is +5. If it is -4, +4. If x is -3, 3. -2, +2. So the absolute value is always in this form, right? It is always on this form. If it is 5, +5. So if you will graph, this is the absolute value graph. So let us draw it's like this. All right. So going up. Any value you will give on x, it should be the value of the y, but it is positive. So the domain, it should be x greater or equal to 0. Oops, sorry, that's for the absolute value is all real numbers with x. That's domain. Domain is element of x is element of real number. Any value you will give to x, it's okay. But on the range of the y should be the range that is y is bigger or equal to 0 only. It will not go down. Okay? So that is the absolute value of x. If you will put negative here, then the graph will be inverted going down. Okay? But it is positive. So that's what you call absolute value function. Now let us try with C. The C is this called the piecewise function, C. So you have two conditions. If x is less than 0, less than or equal to 0, x is greater or equal to 2. So what is all about that? So let us try to go on letter C. Letter C, this is the graph. So this is the absolute value function, and this is the, okay. So letter C, we have this piecewise function. So what you're going to do on C, you have three forms, these forms. Less than 0. Okay, what are the numbers less than 0? Less than or equal to 0. These are 0, -1, -2. If you will put those numbers, you will use this. All right. For example, if what are the numbers less than 0? -2, -1, 0, right? Where does it lie on our equation? It is on 1 only. So the value of, if it is -2, the value is 1. If it is -1, it is 1. If it is 0, it is also 1. Look at this. You are pertaining on this. If you will give numbers that are less than 0 or equal to 0, the value is always 1. Okay? But if you will give values from 0 to 2, 0 to 2, 2 and 0 are not included. So what are those numbers? 0 to 2. So 1, 1.2, 1.4, 1.6, 1.8. 2 is not included. So where are you referring? You are referring to this. So if you will give 1, you will use this function. All right? So if it is 1, 1 plus 1 is what? 2. If it is 1.2, it is still from 0 to 2. So you will still use this. So 1.2 plus 1 is 2.2. What about 1.4? 1.4 plus 1 is 2.4. If it is 1.6, 1.6 plus 1 is 2.6. If it is 1.8 plus 1 is 2.8. Now, if we will use 2, can we still use x plus 1? No, because it is from 0 to 2 only, less than 2. Greater than 0 but less than 2. So we are now using this equation because our graph is from bigger or equal to 2. What are the numbers bigger or equal to 2? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we will use 2, 3, and 4, we will use this form. So if you will give 2, what is 2 squared minus 4? 2 squared minus 1, what's the value? It's only 1. It is 3, right? Okay, this is 3. What about if it is 3? 3 squared minus 1. So it is 8. So that's why it is 8. Now, 4 squared minus 1, 16 minus 1 is 15. That's why it is 15. You got it? Now, if I will give a value of -3, use of which value of the function is, if it is -3, which value it is? What's the value in the graph if it is -3? Yusuf.
So I'll choose from the 3.
If it is -3, what is the value of the function? Where is -3 from this? Is it
So
here? The first
the-
one, yeah. So what's the value? 1, right?
1 po.
Yeah.
Opo.
Okay, what about if I will use 1.5? Justin, where is it located? 1.5. What is the value of the function if it is 1.5? Justin. Justin, what's the value of the function if x is 1.5? Where is it from this graph, Justin? Where is it located, 1.5? Is it less than 0? It is 0 to 2. It is greater than 2. If it is 1.5, what is the value? Where is it located?
It's zero. It's 0 to 2.
Yes, very good, Justin. So what
Okay,
is the
whatever.
value? 2.5,
Nice.
right? Ellie, what about if it is 5? Where is it located? The first function, second function, or the third function?
The third function, sir.
Yes. So what is the value of the graph when it is 5?
5, 25, 24, sir.
Yes, very good. So you understood it. Leonard, what about if it is 6?
6, great. The third one, sir.
The third one. So you substitute the 6 there, okay? That is what you call piecewise function. In piecewise function, they divided into several graphs. And the value, it will determine on their what you call domain. These are the domain, okay? The value of y will depend on your domain. Okay, so let us graph now. -2, 1. -2 and +1. It's here. Next, -1, 1. Next, 0, 1. 0, and then 1. And then next, 1, 2. 1, 2. Next, 1.2, 2.2. So let us try to graph first from 0 to 1. So it is like this only going there. All right. You will extend this all throughout. That is the graph of the 1. And then also, we have 1.2 and 2.2. So it will be going there. 1.2 and 2.2. The graph will be there. And then 2, 1.4, 2.4, and so on. And then 2, 3. 2, 3 is here. And then 3, 8. 3, 8. And 4, 15. And so on. So the graph will be moving, going there. Right? Going up. That is the graph of this function. They call it piecewise function. Sometimes they are not connected to each other. Right? So it depends on the given values. So these are what we call piecewise function. Okay, do you have any question? I think that's the last. So let us go back. Let us repeat. This is the greatest integer function. It is like a ladder. We have also absolute value function. We have also a parabola. Okay, that's what you call the different types of graphs. Okay? So do you have any question? Do you have any question? If you don't have any question, then
Sir.
yes.
Can I see the graph first of the third sample?
This?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Already done na po.
Okay. If you don't have any question, then let's call it a day. Happy weekends, and thank you for all the greetings today.
So fast.
So fast, yes.
Intermission, guys. Sino pa ba?
Sir, ilang taon na po kayo, sir?
Secret, age is just a number. It's infinite.
He's 36.
Number, the points are -4, 8, 4, -4, 3, -9. So you are asked to find the equation of this circle, right? So the first thing to do is that you have to write the equation, standard equation of the circle, right? So we have x squared plus y squared plus dx plus fy or ey plus f is equal to 0. All right? So take note and remember the steps. Okay, so the first point is our x and y. So let us take those 2 points, or 1 point first, and those x and y. So we have the x squared, we have -4. So we have -4 squared plus y, which is 8. 8 squared plus d times the x, which is -4, plus e, which is, or the y, which is 8, plus f is equal to 0. Then after that, we have 16 plus 64 minus 4d plus 8e plus f is equal to 0. Then after that, we have to combine 16 plus 64. So it will become -4d plus 8e plus f is equal to 16 plus 64 will give you 80. So you have -80. That is your equation 1. Okay, so this is your equation 1. Next, we have the next point, 4, -4. So same process, we will be applying that rule. So we have to substitute 4 and -4. So 4 squared plus -4 squared plus d times -4 plus E times 4, or that's positive 4, and the other one is negative 4. So we have E4, or negative 4, plus F is equal to 0. Then let's solve this. This is 16 plus 16 plus 4D minus 4E plus F is equal to 0. And after that, we have 32. This is 32. So 4D minus 4E plus F is equal to negative 32. Because 16 plus 16 is 32. When we transpose it, it will become negative 32. So this is our equation 2. Okay. After that, we have our next point, the last point. The coordinates of the points are 3 and negative 9. So let us substitute the value of x, which is 3. So we have 3 squared plus negative 9 squared plus d times 3 plus e times negative 9 plus f is equal to 0. So therefore, we have 9 plus 81 plus 3d plus, or minus 9e plus f is equal to 0. And then we have the third equation as 3d minus 9e plus f is equal to negative 90. This is our equation 3. So there you have it. We have 3 equations now. Now we are going to solve simultaneously. All right? So you have to remember the first step. Okay. So this is again by simultaneous equation. Do not forget your rule about simultaneous equation. We will rewrite our equations, or we can say, let's start with our first step. What is our first step again? We have to combine equations 1 and 2. Combine equations 1 and 2. So we will write our equation 1. Negative 4d plus 8e plus f is equal to negative 80. Then we have 4d minus 4e plus f is equal to negative 32. All right. So now you have these 2 equations. Okay, some of your classmates, like, what if the d will be canceled? You will be selecting one variable to be canceled only. All right. If, for example, you want to cancel the d, so just only add this equation. But usually, we are canceling the f, right? Now, if we cancel the f, you cannot cancel this if you will add these equations. What will happen? You need to subtract, right? So we will subtract this. It will become minus. But negative 4d minus 4d won't give you 0, but it is negative 8d. And then 8e minus minus 4e will give you positive 12e. And then you need to cancel the f minus f will be canceled already, is equal to negative 80 minus minus 32. So you will get 48. So this is our equation 4. All right. So now the next step is that we need to combine equation 3 and 4. Combine equations 3 and 4. Right. So you have, 2 and 3. You have to combine 2 and 3 equations. All right. Equations 2 and 3. So we will write our equation 2. So the equation 2 is 4D minus 4E plus F is equal to negative 32. And then we have 3D, that's equation 3. 3D minus 9E plus F equals negative 90. Now let us eliminate. Again, I always remind you, when you eliminate a variable here, what you have eliminated here on our first step, you will also eliminate on the second step. If you eliminated F here, you will eliminate F here. Don't eliminate D, neither E. All right? So don't forget that. What you have eliminated here, you will. If you eliminated D on the first step, you will eliminate D on the second step. Okay, Justin? Clear? All right. So let us subtract now because we are going to eliminate the F. So if we will be eliminating the F, we will subtract. We cannot add these two. So 4D minus 3D will give you D. Negative 4E minus 9E will give you positive 5E. And then this will be canceled already. Is equal to negative 32 minus 90. So it will give you 58, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that is equation 5. Clear? All right, next. We will now combine equations 4 and 5. All right? So let us combine equations 4 and 5. Combine. Oops. Undo. Equations. Combine. Equations 4 and 5. So on this step, you will select what will you cancel. So let us write first equation 4. Negative 8D plus 12E equals 48. Here, D plus 5E is equal to 58. Okay? Now, for me, it's easier for you to eliminate the letter D, the variable D, because you can multiply this by 8. Correct? This is by 8. So that it will be the same with the the D on the top part. So let us rewrite our equation. Let's write the top equation. Negative 8D plus 12E equals 48. And then we will multiply 8 times D, 8D. 8 times 5E will give you 40E. And then 8 times 58. 8 times 50,
468. Anyway, 464.
464. All right. Now, we can eliminate now the D by adding. We will add. We will not subtract. Why? Because this is negative 8 and 8. Right? If they are unlike signs, you need to add. If they are like signs, you need to subtract. So this will be canceled now. Then 12 plus 40 will give you 52E is equal to 48 plus 464. So you have 2, 1, and 4. 4 or 5? I think it's 5. 512. Okay. So we have 512. All right. So can we divide now both sides by 52? Yes, we can divide this by 52. So what is 512 divided by 52? What will you get? Get your calculator.
128 over 13.
It's not
It's not, yeah,
it's not whole number.
it's not, sir.
Let us see. 512. 512 divided by 52. Yeah, it's not. But in our answer last time, it was whole number.
Yes, it was number 8.
Wait, let us try to check it again. 8 times 5 is 40, so that's 52. 48. 58 times 8, 64 plus 8 times 5, 464. That's correct. So 8, 2 carry 1, 11 carry 1, 512. Do we have missing parts? I'll try to get my calculator first. But in the calculator, it was complete, right? It was whole number. Let us see again. -4, mode 5, 2. Mode 5. Before we will proceed. Who got, did you get this answer too? Did you solve this? Where's Ali?
Yes, sir. I got the same.
512 over 52. Ali?
Wait lang.
Or whole number?
For E. My E is 416 over 52, sir. The 8 is... What did you do?
No, there's a mistake probably here. Let's combine like this. 16, 64. It's what? 80, right? That's correct. So that is -4D and 8E.
My D is 18, sir.
Yeah, it's what about your E? It's 72, right? No.
My E is 8 and my F
8,
is
yeah.
-7.
We need to
72.
check. We need to check it again.
Yan.
16, 4D, -4E, and 0. 4E minus 4, 4D minus 4E plus F. 3D, 3D minus 9E plus F is equal to -.
I'm pretty sure. I think 5 is corresponding.
Ingay mo!
What's that?
My brother.
-4D plus 8E plus F.
I also
think
got
here.
confused.
Yeah, sir. It's -48. My thingy madigi.
It should be -48.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this should be -48. Okay, we missed the -48. Okay, so -48. And this should be 464 minus 48. So it will become, so let's change this number only. Right? 464. So it's 416. Right, so that's the mistake. 416 divided by 52. So it should be 8. All right. Yeah, because I remember the answers yesterday, they were all whole numbers. Now let's get the value of, D. So we will use this equation, okay? So -8D plus 12, our E is 8, is equal to -48. And after that, we will solve. it will become negative 8d. 12 times 8 is 96 equals negative 48. So negative 8d equals negative 48 minus 96. So negative 8d is equal to 114 negative. So 114 divided by 8, oops, is it 48 plus 96? It's 144. So therefore divide by negative 8. So 144 divided by 8 is 18. So that's the value of our D. Okay? So now let us get the value of the F. So what is our first equation? So get the F. First equation is negative 4D plus 8E plus F equals negative 80. So negative 4 times 18 plus 8 times 8 plus F equals negative 80. So 40 and 32 is 72 plus 64 plus F equals negative 80. So negative 62 plus 64 equals negative 8 minus 80. Wait. So negative 8 plus F equals negative 80. So F equals negative 80 plus 8. So F is equal to 72. Now let's write it on the general equation. We got, what did we get for our E? So let us rewrite the equation now. We have the equation x squared plus y squared plus D is 18 x.
Sir, why is F not negative 72, sir?
Yeah, it's negative, sorry. Negative 72. And then, where is that? Y, where is the Y? It's E, right? Plus 8y minus 72 equals 0. Right? Okay, this is our equation. Okay, do you have any question? Justine, is it clear? Miko, we were doing this for a long time. So you have to solve these two questions. Where are the two? These two. Where's the other one? Okay, I will rewrite it. Wait, I will write it here so that it's clear. You can see these answers. Okay. Answer these two. So we have, let's get the other one. We have let us see, 2, negative 1, 2, negative 1, 3, 1, and negative 1, 0. Also 3, 4, 3, 4, 7, 2, and 5, negative 2. 2, negative 1, 3, 1, negative 1, 0, 3, 4, 7, 2, 5. Okay? Okay, do your work so that you can be able to practice. Tomorrow we will go to the next lesson, which I on next time. Next meeting. What's our next meeting? Next week?
It should be tomorrow, sir.
No,
Today
the
we should be
pre-cal.
next week. No, oh, wait. Sir, it should be today. Oh, wait.
What? From senior.
Wait, no, sir. I believe today should be Gen Math po.
Ah, really?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Swap na naman.
Yes.
Okay, so tomorrow should be Gen Math. It's okay. Same thing. At least it is continuous. Right? So I will let you to do that. Just tell me when you are done or just continue doing it anyway. So that we can end the Zoom. Just copy this. Copy this 2 given. 3 points. So that I can stop already the Zoom. Okay? I know there is somebody there who will chat me later on how to do it and if is it correct, or are you going to remove the D, the E, or the F? Did you copy it? Matthew, check the attendance before we end the meeting.
Okay po, sir.
Tell me the what's it called this? Tell me if you're done copying the given. Thumbs up. If you're done. Justin, not yet done. Miko. Ali, you're done.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. Why your brother is fighting? Is he fighting?
No, he's just doing math also.
Who's their teacher in math?
Their teacher is Sajid, who's your teacher in math? Why?
He can't hear because he has
Math.
to.
Mom Jasmine daw.
Ah, okay. Okay, done? I cannot end up the meeting and continue doing your work, okay? All right. That's all for today. Let's call it a day. Let's start with 1, I should say. Sorry. Bye. 1, because we will start with 1. Okay. Because the x is from 1 to 6 only without 0. 1. Let's start with 1. So 1 minus 3 is negative. 2 squared is 4. Minus 4 plus 4 will be 0. You can start entering on your calculator. That's why this is 0. Next, we have g of 2. This is 1. So what about our g of 2? The x now is 2. So negative, then 2 minus 3 squared plus 4. So it will become negative. 2 minus 3 is negative 1 squared is positive 1. So negative 1 plus 4 will give you 3. That's why this is 2. Next, if it is 3, just enter this one here to this equation, then you will get 4. If it is 4, you will get 3. If it is 5, you will get 0. If it is 6, you will get negative 5. So let us graph now 1, 0. 1, 0 is over here. Next, we have 2, 3. 2, 3 is over here. 3, 4 is there. 4, 3 -5 is over there. Right? So let us connect the points by drawing the parabola. So this is our parabola. Right? And then until there. Alright. So that is our given parabola. So when we try to get our domain, they give the domain already. The domain are set of x such that x should be from 1 until 6. Alright? That's 1 until 6. But to get the range is from the lowest of this graph. The lowest of this graph until to the top of this graph. So this is the range. Right? So what are the numbers in y that are range of this graph? Ali, from the range of this graph, that's the range. Y is such that, yes, -5 less than or equal to, what's the top? 4. Yes, very good. That's how we graph it. Okay. So it's easy to graph, but you can actually know this. If you remember about your getting the center or the vertex of the parabola, you have to get the -b over 2a, and then you will replace it to the given equation, substitute it there, and then you will get the value of your vertex. Or you can use this formula so that you can be able to get the center. The center is at 4, 3. Anyway, without getting this form, you can substitute on this given equation from 1 to 6. You will get these numbers, and then you can graph it like this. Okay, so that's the parabola all about. Can we move our next slide? I mean, can we move it up, or you are still happy? Still happy? Okay, I'll give you 10 copies. part, then I can re-explain that to you. we are going to eliminate the f. So if we will be eliminating the f, we will subtract. We cannot add this two. So 4d minus 3d will give you b. Negative 4d minus 9d will give you positive 5. And then this will be cancelled already. Is equal to negative 32 minus 90. So it will give you 58, 58, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that is equation 5. Clear? Alright, next. We will now combine equations 4 and 5. Right? So let us combine equations 4 and 5. Combine. Equations, combine. Equations 4 and 5. So on this step, you will select what will you cancel. So let us write first equation 4. Negative 8d plus 12d equals 48. Here, d plus 5d is equal to 58. Okay? Now, for me, it's easier for you to eliminate the letter d, the variable d, because you can multiply this by 8. Correct? This is by 8. So that it will be the same with the d on the top part. So let us rewrite our equation. Let's write the top equation. Negative 8d plus 12d equals 48. And then we will multiply 8 times d, 8d. 8 times 5d will give you 40d. And then 8 times 58. 8 times 58.
460. Okay, wait,
464. Alright? Now, we can eliminate now the d by adding. We will add. We will not subtract. Why? Because this is negative 8 and 8. Right? If they are unlike signs, you need to add. If they are like signs, you need to subtract. So, this will be cancelled now. Then 12 plus 40 will give you 50. 2e is equal to 48 plus 464. So you have 2, 1, and 4. 4 or 5. I think it's 5. 512. Okay. So we have 512. Alright. So can we divide now both sides by 52? Yes, we can divide this by 52. So what is 512 divided by 52? What do we get? Use your calculator.
128 over 30.
It's
It's not.
not full number.
It's not, sir.
512 divided by 52. Yeah, it's not. But in our answer last time, it was full number.
Yes, it was number 8.
Wait, let us try to check it again. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 8, 64 plus 8 times 5, 464. That's correct. So 8, 2 carry 1, 11 carry 1, 500. Do you have missing part? Let's try to put my calculator first. But in the calculator, it was complete, right? It was whole number. Let us see again. Negative 4 mode 5 2. 5 before we will proceed. Who got, did you get this answer too? Did you solve this? Where is Ali?
Yes, sir. I got the same.
512 over 52. Ali?
Wait lang.
Or whole number?
For E. My E is 416 over 52, sir. The 8 is... What did you do?
No, there is a mistake probably here. So mine like this. 16, 64. It's what? 80, right? That's correct. So that is negative 40 and 8.
My D is 18, sir.
Yeah, so what about your E? 72, right? No.
My E is 8 and my S is
8, yeah.
negative 7.
We need to check it again.
Yan,
15, 4D, negative 4E, and 0. 4E minus 4, 4D minus 4E, plus F. 3D, 3D minus 9E plus F.
Ingay mo!
That.
My brother.
Negative 4D plus 8E plus F.
I also
I think
got
here.
confused.
Yes.
Yeah, sir. It's negative 48. My thingamajiggy.
It should be negative 48.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this should be negative 48. So we missed the negative 48. Okay, so negative 48. And this should be 464 minus 48. So it will become, let's change this number on you. Right? 464. So it's 460. So that's the mistake. 416 divided by 52. So it should be 8. Alright. Because I remember the answers yesterday, they were all whole numbers. Now let's get the value of B. So we will use this equation, okay? So negative 8B plus 12. Our E is 8. Is equal to negative 48. And after that, we will solve. It will become negative 8B. 12 times 8 is 96 equals negative 40. So negative 8B equals negative 48 minus 96. So negative 8B is equal to 41, 114. So 114 divided by 8. Oops. Is it 48 plus 96? It's 144. Therefore, divide by negative 8. So 144 divided by 8 is 18. So that's the value of our D. Okay? So now let us get the value of the F. So what is our first equation? Get the F. First equation is negative 4D plus 8E plus F plus negative 80. So negative 4 times 18 plus 8 times 8 plus F equals negative 80. So 40 and 32 is 72. Plus 64 plus F equals negative 8. So negative 62 plus 64 equals negative 8. Negative 8 plus F equals negative 8. F equals negative 18 plus 8. F is equal to 7. Now let's write it on the general equation. We got, what did we get for our E? So let us rewrite the equation now. We have equation x squared plus y squared plus z is 18 what x.
Sir, why is F not negative 70?
Ayan, negative, sorry, negative 7. And then, where is that? Y, where is the y? C, right? Plus 8y minus 72 equals 0. Right? This is our equation. Okay, do you have any questions? Justin, is it clear? Miko, we were doing this for a long time, so you have to solve these two questions. Where are where's the other one? Okay, I will rewrite it. Wait, I will write it here so that it's clear. Right, you can see this answer. Okay. Answer this two. So we have skip the other one. For we have two negative 1, 3 1, and negative 1 0. Also 3 4, 3 4 7 2, and 5 negative 2. 2 negative 1, 3 1, negative 1 0, 3 4 7 2 5. Okay? Okay, do your work so that you can be able to practice. Tomorrow we will go to the next lesson, which on next time, next meeting. What's our next meeting? Next week?
It should be tomorrow, sir.
No, the pre-file.
Sir, it should be today.
What? From senior.
No, sir, I believe today should be Gen Math.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Naswap na naman?
Yes.
Okay, so tomorrow should be at 9. Okay, this is continuous. Right? So I will let you to do that. Just tell me when you're done, or just continue doing it anyway. So that we can end the Zoom. Just copy this. Copy this 2 given 3 points. So that I can stop already. Okay? I know there is somebody there who will chat me later on how to do it and if is it correct, or are you going to remove the